I want to talk about 6 things I should have done earlier in life. Welcome back to Jerminology. As I mentioned in the intro, I want to talk about 6 things that I wish I had done sooner in life. These are a variety of things coming from being almost 50 years old. These are things that I would probably have told myself, or if I had to give advice to someone else, these are things that I would tell them. These are some very practical and some a little deeper than normally I would go in this channel, starting with number 1. The first one is embrace mortality. This is both my mortality, but also the mortality of those around me. What I have done over the years is I have kind of avoided the topic, avoided thinking about it, and avoided scenarios where I had to come face to face with that. And as a result, it has really skewed my ability to mourn and to support and love others as they go through times of grief. And so I wish as I was younger that I would have been able to embrace the process of loss, of mortality, of losing loved ones, of my own mortality. I would have come to terms more with it. Because as a person of faith, I do have a eternal hope, but there is still that concept of mortality that I don't think that maybe I have the healthiest grip on. We're all terminal, and when you see it that way, you need to have a good grasp on your ability to grieve, mourn, and kind of embrace that, and not like revel in it, but not avoid it either, because it is the ultimate path that we're all on. Number 2, I wish I would have earlier in life applied my mind and really kind of embraced my education. So as a student, whether it be through my high school years and into college, I did not really embrace the process. It was really about just getting over the finish line. It was not about doing it well. And I wish I would have applied myself more. I wish I would have been a better student. I wish I would have read more earlier at a younger age. I wish I would have developed the healthier habits of reading, of applying that, because I think that readers are leaders, but also learners are leaders, and so developing that at an later in life, it becomes more difficult because you're kind of set in your ways. So I wish I would have earlier in life had developed those healthy habits to develop and grow my mind. So number 3, invest in my health. So while I was young enough and my body had the ability to recuperate better, I wish I would have developed healthy habits of exercise, physical fitness. It wasn't until I was 39 years old that I started running, maybe 38, and I know I ran my marathon at 39. So it was, well into life that I decided to finally start investing in physical fitness. And even then, I have kind of ebbed in and out of it. Because I haven't established those well-rounded habits. So that is another one. I wish I had established a healthy routine of fitness, even if it was something where I had been paying 20 years of a gym membership to be able to do it on a regular basis. It's just harder to develop it the older you get. Once it becomes ingrained in you and then life starts to happen, you have those habits ingrained already, and you start to adapt life around it. Now I'm trying to fit exercise around life, and it's a little more complex. So number 4, I would have developed a bucket list and started pursuing that much sooner in life. So it wasn't, again, right around the time that I started running and was working on my marathon. At that same time, I started working on a bunch of different things. I actually, at that point, developed a bucket list and started working towards that. And the bucket list had everything from health and fitness goals, had reading goals, your mental health, your developing your mind. It had spiritual goals, it had professional goals, etc. And I wish I had developed that sooner, and I wish by developing it sooner, I wish I would have started pursuing some of those goals sooner. I have travel goals, like I'd like to travel to every state in the U.S. I'd like to travel to some of the major sites in the U.S., the Grand Canyon, the Golden Gate Bridge, etc. I'd like to go and see some of those things. And so because I didn't have that list before I was 39 years old, basically I wasn't actively pursuing any of those. So I wish I would have developed a bucket list and actively started pursuing things on my bucket list, started checking things off of the bucket list. That's an active exercise I do now, but I'm playing with a lot less time. Number 5, I wish I would have developed good financial habits. So I wish I would have learned to save better, to spend more wisely. Again, that's playing catch up. If you don't develop those habits when you're younger, there is a lot more that plays into the equation as you're older. So developing those healthy habits later in life just adds some complexity to it. So I wish I had invested in saving and in spending and in making smart decisions. Early on in marriage, we used to trade cars in and get new cars all the time, and it just was not a smart thing. We could have done better in that, and it really took us 10 plus years before we really got out of that mentality and really started making smarter decisions. So I wish we had done that sooner in life. Personally, I wish I had done that. I've been married long enough that I wish we had done that together. And then number 6, the last one, is I wish I had learned sooner not to sweat the small stuff, to just let things go. We don't always have control over everything, and we don't always know how things are going to turn out. So there's really no sense in worrying and stressing over these things that coulda, woulda, shouldas, when you've got enough things that are happening in your life that you can worry about some of those, but just worrying about what people think of you, worrying about how you did on how you performed at a job. None of those things are really worth worrying about unless it becomes a conflict or an issue or something that needs to be addressed. So I wish I would have earlier in life just learned to let go of things. And you can read a plethora of books on that today, because I'm not the only one. A lot of people do that. Those are 6 things. There's a 7th one, but it needs a little unpacking. So I need another episode where I can just kind of introduce the topic before I say what it is, because it needs a little bit of work. So there you go. Those are 6 things I wished I had done sooner, that now later in life that I'm really kind of playing catch up on a lot of those to do, but am incorporating most of these are goals related to goals that I sign up for, sign up being my personal list for the year, that I sign up to really try to address in some way, shape, or form some of these items every year, from goals that are addressing my bucket list, my dreams, my spending habits. I do also kind of bucket list major purchases, things that I would like to purchase within the year, major projects that I would like to accomplish, like around the house. Reading is one of my goals that I invest in every year, and obviously fitness is another one. Running so much, exercising so much, etc. So there you go. Those are 6 things I wish I had done sooner. I hope you enjoyed this list. I hope that you can kind of take the lessons learned that I've shared with you, and that you could take them in and apply them as they are applicable to you. Just know that the younger you are, the easier it is to start some of these and create those early habits that you can carry on to later in life. So let me know what you think. What are your 5, 6, 10 things that you would say, I wish I had done these things sooner? I'd be curious to know. Leave me a thumbs up, a like, drop a comment below, hit the bell if you want to be subscribed to the other things that I'll be recording on this channel. But I'll have more content coming out to Jerminology over the course of the next 2 months. So be on the lookout. We'll talk to you next time.